Let's blow something up, yeah! Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Folks, we have another Faction Essentials video, and buckle up if you are in a car, because I don't want you to get in a wreck. Not in a wreck, as Omega would say. She'd say something about Rick. I'm pretty dumb. I actually don't like it when people make fun of her accent for some reason, but I'm doing it anyways because I'm a hypocrite. So here's what is going on, folks. We have Faction Essentials video for Bad Batch here, and it's going to have all of the discussion about what to do, how to run the Bad Batch in Grand Arena, and for the most part in Territory Wars, things like that. I want to give you guys the base setup. There is a lot of other comps and ways to run Bad Batch, and frankly, this is an Essentials video. I don't have time or the crayons, but especially the time to explain all of it to you. I don't even know all of it, folks. And so what I'm going to do, my buddy Fatal and I are still working on some of these Faction Essentials videos together. And what we're going to do here is, if he puts out more advanced stuff, I'm going to link it in the video description. And so when this is first released, there's not going to be anything else. But check back in a couple months. There also may not be. We'll just have to see. So that being said, what I'm going to be showing you guys is how to beat all of the baseline teams, the teams like Geonosians, First Order, General Grievous, etc. How to put the right mods on them, get the right turn order, get the right move order. That is an extremely complicated squad, and I can't focus on every single ability. It would take too long, and you would get paralysis by analysis. That is just too much. It's overwhelming, and it's just something that it's not worth. Initially, you just want to learn how to use the squad, and then once you kind of have the whole setup, then you can kind of move on to more advanced setups. So that's what we're going to be doing. And first, I'm going to show you guys a video of how it looks initially. Then we're going to get into how to set that up. And then at the end, we're going to show you guys one more video of them taking down a General Grievous team with Watt, and I'll kind of go through it step by step so I can point out all these different important elements. So without further ado, folks, let's get the video going. Oh, actually, slightly more ado, folks. I keep calling you folks because that's a word I use apparently. So I do want to remind you guys, we're trying to mount the algorithm, trying to get on there and really just get a ton of views for this channel. Start trying to blow up a little bit, and it's been working a lot lately. You guys have been great. Please, just a reminder, hit that thumbs up button if you can. It's a free way you guys can support the channel. And if you do that, also, if you wanted to leave a comment in the comments area, just has to be a single word like algo. You don't even have to spell the whole word. If you want to be lazy. I'm all for that. I would really appreciate both of those things. Help us with the algorithm. The other thing, of course, is if you hit that sub button, really helps me. Even if you don't intend to watch another one of my videos, if you can just ignore me after that, and I won't bug you, but it helps me and the channel to grow. So I would really appreciate that. That being said, let's actually watch our first video, and we can get started. So we're going to show you Geonosians here, folks, and just going to give you a brief recap as I'm, just discussion as we're going through it. So Echo's going to go first. He debuffs everyone. Everyone gains turn meter based off of how many debuffs he has, or how many buffs he has dispelled. And then Tech is going to try to stun everyone. Didn't quite work, but Wrecker also, because there's a 5-man squad here, can do a 2-turn stun on everyone. And now Hunter should be passing the turn to Echo, but I don't have footage of him doing that. So the AoE obviously works, because the really important part here, folks, is that you're doing a ton of damage. It's called true damage. You're not worrying about crits, you're worrying about total offense. So Really awesome, powerful stuff. Let's move to the game. Whoa, why how did we get here? We're in the game now. Madness. So let's actually go to the bottom for just a little bit. Now, these characters are all lined up in turn order. And just by speed, Echo can be extremely fast. He's one of the fastest characters in the game. And you'll see my mods, and my mods are maybe faster than a lot of people have available. But just keep in mind, I'm at the end game, and everyone I'm facing has a huge amount of really fast mods. And so he needs to be pretty quick, though. And you want him to be quick. If you're at a lower level, try to scale it down, but keep the same speed order. Echo can be one of the fastest characters in your roster if you want to put the right mods on him. I get him to about 350 speed without trying too hard. I could make him significantly faster if I wanted to. So Tech is going to go next. He's going to be the guy who stuns everyone. Wrecker is going to be next. He's the one who kind of unlocks the entire team because he's the one who hands out defense up, and that buff is the thing that gives everyone the ability to cause true damage to everyone once you do an ability. Hunter is the leader. He's going to be the one who probably kills every single person through his true damage double tap. Omega doesn't really need to take turns to be good. She just sits there and shoots. She can be really slow. Just pack her full of offense and let her go crazy. That's how the turn order goes. Let's look at Hunter first because he's the leader. You may need to make sure he doesn't have the highest GP usually, so you need to make sure you select him as your leader. And the thing that really matters most here, folks, the thing that how it ties everything together. So first off, he gives everyone plus 50% potency if he's with Bad Batch. He's also giving them max health, max protection, etc. But potency is the thing that matters. And then the one that really matters is when Bad Batch allies use an ability that while they have defense up, they deal true damage to all enemies. So they also, while they have evasion up, so evasion up is another one that's kind of central to what it's not central, it's kind of like tangential, they usually will have evasion up, and then they gain some benefits that you don't really even notice. And then also, when damaging an enemy with Expose, Bad Batch allies remove 50% turn meter from the enemies, and if they're droid or separatists, it takes all of their turn meter, and that can't be evaded or resisted. And so, they're really good. You guys saw how they did against Geos. It just wrecks them. But the whole Expose thing, it's all just so many factors that what we're really going to be focusing on in this video, guys, is just the fact that defense up gives them true damage. Now, true damage means they don't crit, so you don't want crit damage at all on this squad. Like, you're not going to use it, really. Not much, anyways. And so that's the main thing, folks. The other thing for Hunter, because we're on here, he has two abilities that matter the most, in my opinion. So the first one is he's going to... So he can land Expose on everyone, but what this ability really does, folks, and it can stun people, it can ignore all these crazy things, but the thing that really matters here with them is he swaps turn meter with one other Bad Batch character. That's what matters here. He swaps turn meter. So it's just like Cat. It's just like Jedi Revan. He swaps turn meter, and that is a key component. Now he can do an AOE. This is how everyone gets stealth and evasion. If you need your whole team to have stealth and evasion, the AOE is how you get it. Now, you don't want to typically use it that much, but it can work. And if he was already stealthed, then everyone's going to gain offense up, which offense up, as I said, is really nice because true damage, it ignores defense and it doesn't crit, so it kind of bypasses any of the crit avoidance that other characters have. Now, the other thing that's really important here, guys, if your enemy is debuffed, which is an important factor, he throws a second knife. He has an unlimited supply of really cool vibro knives, and I wish that I was as rich as he is, frankly. It's pretty sweet. So we have Hunter there. Omega, let's just look real quick. Obviously, I don't have her really super well modded. Throwing some relics on her is nice just because she gets a damage boost. Really, what you want to probably end up doing is just... so she dispels debuffs on herself and gains stealth. That's what she wants. And then, everyone gains protection up and stuff. That's probably the one you want. I mean, really, you could do the adaptive learner, you could do the zeroed in and target practice madness, but really, I put a health set on her and then offense, and she's just going to be plugging away. Every time someone takes a turn, then she's going to be taking a shot. That's how she operates. So it says Bad Batch ally. Let's see, when another Bad Batch ally uses a special ability, Omega assists, dealing 60% less damage. So, it's a special ability, but basically, you never run out of special abilities with Bad Batch, and so you're very rarely going to be doing basics unless you're Hunter, and even then, a lot of times when he's doing his basics, it's because he's being called to assist. So, she's just sitting there, plugging away at people. She does a lot of damage, especially once she gets her defense up. Now, turn order wise, we have Echo. Echo is going to be somewhere you want to he needs to be either faster than everyone, or some strategies actually really work well if he is slower than some characters. Now this speed is fast enough that almost all teams are going to be slower than him. So, I mean, that's fine. That's how it works. But the first move you're going to do with him is he's going to, and this is like one of the most powerful moves in the game. Like, this makes him one of the best plug-and-play characters in the game if you don't want to develop the rest of the team. However, this is like such an overpowered ability, really. So everyone gains evasion up. There's a million ways to gain evasion up in this game, or in this squad, but everyone gains that evasion up. It dispels all buffs on all enemies and inflicts daze and healing immunity for 2 turns. And that just always applies. Like, it doesn't, for whatever reason, that is something that always applies. Unless they're just outright immune to those effects, then that applies to every single character every time. Now, keep in mind that with tenacity and everything, the way it works, the way resists work, usually the character will resist at least 15% of the time. That is just built in. However, in this case, it never falters. It always debuffs their stuff, even if they have foresight, whatever, and they also get daze and healing immunity. So there's 5 characters on the team and on the enemy team, and they have 5 dazes and 5 healing immunes after this. So the other thing that's important, guys, is for each buff that's dispelled, the clones, they gain all 10% offense until the end of their next phase. So that's whatever. Just ignore that. But Bad Batch allies gain 5% turn meter. So if he is slower than, say, a Dooku, so Dooku can go, he will put everyone into stealth, and then Echo can, if you time it right, if he goes next, then he can dispel all of that stealth, and for all the stealth and Dooku's special ability, he'll end up giving his whole team 30% turn meter. So that's one way you can do it if you want to run a slower Echo. That is absolutely an option. So the other thing that works really well with him, well, there's so many things. This one is something, there's all this stuff that's happening, guys. We're not going to look at it. The thing that matters for this ability, this is the second thing that you're probably going to do on the team. You're going to call someone to assist, and that is usually Hunter. That's what matters. Otherwise, modding wise, you can see I have a mismatched set of mods on him. Because I just want him to be fast. That's what matters for him. He wants to be fast, and that's it. The last final thing, guys, there are 2 ways for us to get defense up, and that's the thing that gives us true damage, right? That's the thing that's overpowered on the team. The only other way you get it from Wrecker's AoE, but then you also get it if Echo uses a basic, he just grants defense up and evasion up for 2 turns to the weakest clone trooper ally who doesn't have it. So that's the only other way to get it, guys. Those 2 things are the ways Bad Batch get it. Now, tech, the only things that matter. So he gives translation. That's cool. That's fine. It's confusing, and it almost isn't noticeable. Honestly, the way this team works, it's it seems way more powerful than it actually is. Now, he's got a few things going. One thing that you need to realize, though, if you make your tech so fast that he's just a little bit behind Echo, it's not going to work out for you that well, because he gets a hidden +8 speed, or it's almost hidden, because he gets +1 speed for each clone trooper ally, doubled for Bad Batch. So I know that my buddy Klesso recently-ish actually had a situation where he's like, I can't get it, like, why is my tech going before Echo? And it turns out it was because of this specific ability. And so, that's something to keep in mind. He also has plus 25% potency for each stack of translation. So he needs to be able to apply debuffs, guys. So Echo automatically applies those debuffs that he has. It's pretty neat. However, this Brilliant Idea ability, this one is the one that stuns everyone after everyone is initially dazed and has that healing immune. So, as you can see here, so it dispels all debuffs from clone trooper allies. They gain foresight, stealth, tenacity up, all this stuff. But it inflicts stun for 1 turn on enemies that are dazed or target locked. So everyone who's dazed from Echo doing his AoE, everyone is going to be stunned. However, inflicting this stun is based off of a potency versus tenacity check. And so if you're facing someone with a really high tenacity, you are going to need an equally high potency. So Hunter gives another 50%. Tech, so you want to mod him for speed, and you want to mod him for potency. Those are the two things. And then if you get stacks of translation, which are kind of like not reliable, especially if a pitched battle, like it's just too many variables, but he's going to gain 25% potency on top of that. I wouldn't count on that though. So just keep in mind, he's plus 50 from Hunter. So right now he's at 190 essentially percent potency. That's enough to usually debuff just about anyone. Keep in mind though, with his stun, it doesn't always apply. 15% of the time, if they have 0 tenacity, they will still resist 15% of the time. That's just built in the game. Now, Wrecker is going to go next, and Wrecker, so Echo's gonna throw his dispel grenades, Tech's gonna throw his stun grenades, and then Wrecker is going to go, because you have 5 characters here, he's going to start with Furious. And Furious just means that when he does his AoE, it inflicts stun on all enemies for 2 turns, but more importantly, so everyone is stunned potentially, but by Tech. But if you get, statistically, one character is most likely going to resist that. If Wrecker goes next, he's going to try stunning everyone. But then the really important thing, guys, if you don't stun people, it doesn't matter nearly as much as this. Defense up. And so everyone gains tenacity up and defense up. Defense up is the thing that gives everyone true damage, and that's the thing that you want. So it's very important. This is a central ability. So if you do the AoE, even if you don't have Furious, if you're only running 4 characters or something, you don't want to bring Omega, you can use his you can, it doesn't matter if you stun them, you just want the defense up. That is paramount. Everything else here, folks, doesn't really matter. So he can heal, he's a tank, he does all this cool stuff, he can generate all these things. I'll let you guys just read his kit, frankly, but he can recover banners. What you want from him, if possible, you want speed and you want potency. So you can see he's going to be the 3rd fastest after Tech, and then so it's the question of, do you want a protection cross or do you want a potency cross? He does want protection. That's the other thing, is the secondaries for him do matter. Protection is more important than anything else because of one of his abilities. You can heal everyone based off of his max protection. So if you wanted to, you could get a fast protection arrow. You want him and Hunter to be right in the 250 range. Mine is at 268, probably a little too fast, but speed mods, that's fine. I'm going to need to rearrange his mods. He doesn't need speed set. That's just how I have him set up right now. And then having a potency secondary set. I know that that's not what I have on here, but for right now, that's what I have to spare. Is great. Potency cross, I don't know. I like the protection cross a little better for him just because he's a tank and he actually uses that protection for more things than just hit points. But a potency cross wouldn't be the worst thing. However, even right now, he has a potency of about 80%. If you just give him a set, that gives him up to about 100%, and then Hunter gives him another 50 on top of that. So pretty good. He's the guy, he's the linchpin. You need Wrecker to make any of this work for the most part. In 3v3 it's a little different, but Hunter, once again, we're back here. He's going to be the one who's destroying everyone with all these buffs. Omega is just chilling. You guys can see I just have her speed at plus 63. She's got an offense arrow with 0 speed on it because she just hangs out and plugs away at people. Who needs anything from her other than that? Not me. So that's how the team kind of works, folks. Let's go into an example so that you can see the team in action. Alright, so that was the Geos. This is against a Grievous and Watt team, so I'm going to be pausing here. The first thing that we want to do, now keep in mind, this team does not operate well against Grievous teams with BB-8, because BB-8 is going to make the Grievous team go first, and then Grievous is going to get a lot of target locks on you. He's going to do a lot of just really dirty things, and potentially just kill your characters. So he's going to dispel all the things with B2, and all that extra turn meter is really bad. But with Watt, you can make it work as long as you can, get the, you won't get the very first turn, but you will be able to, control the situation pretty well, as long as, Magna Guard, if he takes a turn, he's going to dispel, his stun, and it can get ugly because then he can dispel everyone else's stun. So you need to make sure that they can't get out in front of you. So here we go. I think I had it paused in the example in the video that I was using. I think that I was trying to explain something. Ah, here we are. I was pushing the wrong button, folks. Yay for me. So they're going to go first because Watt gets his bonus turn, and then B1, the fire you can see here, is B1 assisting. So we have Echo. He's going to go first. He does all of his debuffs. You can see everyone has a daze and a healing immunity, even B1, because that's just how it works. It doesn't say it in his kit, but it just applies without any chance of resisting. Now, you can see that the Magna Guard does have the tank tech, so we're lucky that he has daze, so he doesn't hit back or anything, but whenever he is taking a turn, it's going to dispel all of his debuffs. So Echo goes, he does his ability to stun everyone. Now Wrecker's turn. This is important. You can see everyone's in stealth, everyone's buffs are building. He's going to do that second special. He's got his full stacks and everything. He's going to try to stun everyone for 2 turns. When he does that, the stuns don't matter, but what do matter, you can already see everyone starting to take those little white things of damage there underneath. That is true damage. That means there's no crits, it's just true damage. And you can see the defense up buff with the little shield over them. That's what I usually call it. When I'm in a match, I say, we try to get the shields on these characters. So everyone's doing true damage now. Now, Omega probably should just go into stealth. I think I just used the bow, because who knows? And it doesn't really matter that much. Remember, when you use a special, then everyone is going to be, you're going to be causing special damage, or not special damage, true damage to everyone. Now, we should, with Hunter, be passing the turn. So it's his turn again already. He's going, or not already, he's going fourth. Well, actually, I guess Omega did go next, but who cares about her? It doesn't really matter. So Hunter is going to pass the turn to Echo. This is a very important note, folks. So he hands the turn to Echo. So everyone takes some damage because it's an ability, even though he didn't attack. Now Echo's going to call Hunter to assist. And keep in mind that Echo, or that Hunter needs someone to target that has debuffs on them. So like Grievous and B1 are not good targets here. But because he's going to double tap if they're already debuffed. So you can see he just destroyed them. So now I think it would be better, honestly, to just do a basic. Just do basic and throw at B2. He did his AoE because I recorded this when I wasn't as good with Bad Batch, but the AoE is still pretty devastating, as you can see, and we have so many good buffs and everything that even Grievous, when he does his hit, just doesn't really matter. So Tech, evaporates everyone else, and Wrecker heals everyone, and Grievous just slowly gets torched over time. And it's pretty fancy, pretty fun, and you get 60 banners. They barely get to interact, and you get the win. So it's not rocket science, folks. You just want to get that true damage and then target people who have debuffs, and you're good to go. So I think I'm going to leave you here. I hope that this was a satisfactory explanation. I do actually want to go just real quick, folks. I do want to show you guys one last thing with Hunter, because I didn't say anything. He just wants a lot of offense on him too, if you can do it. So an offense arrow is fine as long as you can stay in the right speed range. He wants to be at 250-ish. Obviously, he's a little slower than that in this example. I think because I did put an offense arrow on him, potentially. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, he's got speed. I just have really bad mods on him. Keep in mind, though, offense on everyone. Crit damage has no place in Bad Batch. So, alright, I am going to leave you here, guys. Just wanted to show you his mods because it just occurred to me I didn't really show you those. And so, I think that's it. Let me know if you have questions, of course. I hope that this is helpful. Let me know if I missed anything. Of course, be respectful. I love you all. Thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.